Welcome back to another movie review with the Helper Hinder YouTube channel. I'm Miles Shockley, giving you the Christian scoop on some of these movies on Netflix. Should you be watching these things or should you sleep on it? Right? Let's get started. So, I had a chance to watch The Guilty, which again is on Netflix, 2021 title. I think this is one of the strongest performances that I've seen from Jake Gyllenhaal. Phenomenal actor. He's truly a master of his craft. And in this movie, he plays, it looks like an LAPD officer who has some duties being a 911 or 911 call operator. This film really takes place all in one spot, but it will literally have you leaning forward in your seat the entire time. It is so well done, such an exciting thriller, and literally takes place in a few rooms. Really, that's it. And that theme is a little frustrating for this year, but it's reasonable, right? Because we were all on lockdown. It's COVID out there. It's a pandemic. So a lot of these movies were made and they focused on the story taking place in single locations. And this was one of those films, masterfully directed by Antoine Fuqua. I apologize if I'm butchering his name, but he's the same director that did Training Day. And the fact that this movie takes place in one spot, and it's just Jake, like the whole movie, and he is so riveting over the phone. You were literally at, like, pretend that you're listening to like you will forget that you're watching a movie, and you'll turn your eyes away from the screen and just listen to the audio, because the fascinating thing about movies is that we start to live the character's experience. So I found myself doing that. The conversation was so riveting. I'm just like leaning and just turning my head and listening. And that's how well done this movie is. So the only thing is that it's a Hinder film. And I give it that label because there's a ton of foul language in it. And there are a lot of scenarios that they force you to imagine that are really grotesque, and just difficult to stomach and imagine. And I know that it's part of the job and what these people go through every day, but it's just not something that you want to imagine. I don't want to give too many spoiler alerts because I think for uh, the the thriller aspect of the movie, I think is worth watching, but it's just the language so bad, and uh, and the scenarios that you're forced to imagine this movie are just too much. They're too much. The underlying political commentary or social political commentary about this film is that there's always two sides of the story. So yeah, in our world, we've obviously witnessed on grand scale and in front of the world, people in authority abusing their power, people of authority taking the innocence from folks, taking their lives, right? But then there's, well, not all of them are bad. You're just, sometimes we catch people on bad days. And if you're around people that are constantly trying to break the law and are criminals day in and day out, that weighs on you. So it's very conceivable for somebody to have a bad day on the job and take out their frustrations on someone that's um, happens to be their next arrest. It's no excuse to abuse your power. But at the same time, with the same token of thought, we have to extend the same grace all around. And I think that's why the title of the film is so crucial here, because folk are guilty, right? It's like, yeah, this person broke the law, but they don't deserve to have their arm broken just because you're pissed off. And this officer who's guilty of a crime doesn't, deserve to have the just to be labeled a satanic person. Um, so really, we're all guilty. We're all guilty of something. And we're all worthy of forgiveness, no matter how grave. There's so many wonderful stories about Christians and people of Jesus forgiving people of unimaginable things. Unimaginable things. Because we're all guilty. We've all sinned. We've all sinned. All of us are sinners. So this movie highlights that. And I'm still able to get revelation from it, even though there were a lot of fabrics that itched my soul in this one. But if you wanted to take a look at it, just be prepared to fast forward through some of the tough language parts, and make sure you have a strong stomach. But I gave this film a 7.9 out of 10. Again, the directing, the acting is phenomenal. All right, this is Miles Shockley with another movie review on the Helper Hinder YouTube channel. Stay tuned for the next movie review. God bless you guys. Praying for you guys. Bye now. Bye now. Bye now.